Stand up, New York Giant fans. What is going on, Karambite? What's going on, Nikki Sav? Fun with education in the house. My Cowboys family, he's right here. I see him in the chat. Rico is in the chat as well. Thank you to everybody for being here. And if you guys have not done so, please go into the link in the description. And I know they're Cowboys fans. It's okay. They're good people. I talk to them all the time. You can unmute yourself, by the way. I think you muted yourself. But they got a great channel over there, and they were kind enough to have me on their channel week 1 when the Giants played the Cowboys. So I wanted to have them back on the channel week 9 when we returned the favor and we beat you guys, hopefully. And so you grew up in Jersey. First off, I want you to tell everybody in the chat how you grew up in Jersey and you became a Cowboy fan. How does that happen? Oh, wait. I might have screwed something up. Sorry about that. I do that all the time. Hold on one second. Guys, my mistake, everybody. I did not have it on the multi-output device. So now what you get to do is you get to tell everybody the same story over again. So go ahead. So this is my Cowboys family.
Cowboys.
Go over there and subscribe to them. But go ahead.
No, my fiance, she's out of commission. She had her 4 wisdom teeth pulled, so she's in the chat, chatting up in there. So, again, thank you for having us on the show here with you guys on your channel, on The Entertainer. I love talking Cowboy football, and again, we get you guys this week. The story of MCF here. Born in West New York, New Jersey, 10 minutes from the Meadowlands, and my dad is a humongous Giants fan. Since the Polo Grounds, and I'm talking about the 40s and 50s. I mean, he's been watching the Giants, New York football Giants, throughout all those years. And, he tried his best, but my mother loved Roger Staubach in the 70s.
Okay.
And she was a Cowboys fan. So they're both, that I see both teams. I see the cheerleaders on one team. I see the cheerleaders on the other. I mean, listen, there's no cheerleaders. The Giants even had cheerleaders at the time.
No, they still don't have cheerleaders.
See, there you go. So, yeah, listen, there's a lot of factors, but mom, Cowboy fan, dad, Giants fan, and I don't know how and why.
And they stayed together?
Yes, they did. Yes. Their whole
wow.
entire lives.
Wow. That's impressive. They must have really loved each other.
Yeah,
But
yes. Every year I got to see the Giants and LT and Ron Morris, Phil Simms, all those guys play against our Cowboys back in the early 80s. So that was once a year. So that was always awesome. And there's no, internet and satellite dish, nothing like that, like there is now.
Yeah. Good stuff. And thank you to everybody for being here, by the way. Angel Rodriguez in the chat. If you guys haven't done so, please hit that thumbs up. You guys can hear him now, right? We're good now? We're good? I think we should be good now, right? But yeah, so the first time we played you guys week 1, we were going into Dallas. I knew we were going to lose that game, if I was being realistic. You got a brand new defense. Everybody's rookies, completely inexperienced, and there's still rookies. Still a lot of young guys on this defense. But the defense has gotten a little bit better over the course of the weeks. The offense, which is what encouraging from a Giants standpoint, everybody's healthy this week. For the first time all year, all of our pieces are back. Because when we played you guys, Golden Tate was suspended. So now we've got all of our pieces back, and Daniel Jones is the quarterback. So it's a completely new look for you guys on both sides of the football. So I think it's going to be a much more interesting game, plus the fact that it's played in Jersey. So I don't think this will be a runaway like week 1. I think you guys beat us 35-17, if I'm not mistaken. And,
yeah, first week.
And you were at that game, right?
Yes. Myself and my fiance were at that game, and didn't start off very well. If you guys remember that start, where Saquon took it almost to the house, and you guys were up on us immediately. So it wasn't going very good at the beginning, but yeah, we did get up on you guys, and everything you said is 100% on point. I would say when it comes to the way your team is where they're at now. You do have a different mindset right now, not just different players, but a mindset on the offense, on the defense. And I think you guys are definitely trying to get there. I know you guys are 2-6, right? So
2-6, yeah. Still struggling, but we put up a really good effort last week in Detroit. Detroit's been a good team this year. Giants could have easily won that football game. And the defense, to me, is getting better every week. That's the most encouraging thing. And Daniel Jones coming off a 4-touchdown performance. Now, your defense is a different animal compared to the Lions. So it's going to be a bigger challenge. But I want to hear a little bit about your team. I know you guys went through a struggle there. You started off the season well. You beat us. You beat the Redskins. You beat Miami.
Yep, the Dolphins.
And then you guys go on. You lose to the Packers. You lost to the Saints, and then the Jets in this stadium that you're going to be playing in.
Oh yeah.
So
Leonard Williams was playing. He hurt us in that game. So he knows how to kind of slip through there. Now, I'm going to say this. We were doing great. I know the easy answer is, hey, you know what? We played easy teams with bad defenses, and that's why our offense exploded. But it was being a Cowboy fan, we try to look at things really by the film and kind of see what was done differently. And it was obvious the way the Cowboys play, especially against the Saints. That was the next game, the first game they lost this year. And we had some execution issues, fumbles and missed blocks and missed passes, but we still could have won that game. And it was a very conservative offense that really doomed us in the end, I believe. It was the play calling, the footprints of Jason Garrett that kind of held back the offense. And I don't know if it's because it was a Monday Night Football game. I mean, a Sunday Night Football game was on prime time. You know, it was everybody gets a national televised game. I don't know what the reasoning for that. Maybe just Garrett. I know Garrett's going to have input in this offense no matter what. Jason Garrett, head coach, but Kellen Moore, our offensive coordinator, showed so much more than just a couple of wrinkles those first 3 weeks. And you can not just see it with the production, but you could see it in the way the plays are designed, the plays are called. There's so many more options when Kellen Moore is a Kellen Moore, let's say a Kellen Moore type play. When you see a Jason Garrett play, it's a basic, type of run, not much movement, not much misdirection. And that's been the general theme from Garrett in his offense for the last, I'd say out of his 10 years he's been with, as our head coach, I'd say, probably 7 of those years, he's pretty much been that way. That's kind of very conservative offense. And so you could see that he's been, he's involved in that way on the offensive side. And that's where I think our team kind of got held back. And then the injuries to our tackles, especially Tyron Smith and then La'el Collins, we lost them. That was in the Jets game, and that was just horrific. I mean, I think that against the Packers, we had a chance to get back in that game. And we I would just say a lot of execution issues on the field, but even with that, we could have won all these 3 games if the game plan would have been better. And that's on both sides of the ball. You
lost to the Saints by 2, I think. You lost to the Jets by 2, and I don't remember the other game, but the Packers beat you pretty good, I thought.
It was like a 9-point. I mean, we missed the field goal. It would have made it like a 1-score game. We had a chance, an outside chance. Poorly coached at the end as well in that game.
The one thing I noticed about your offense the first week we played you, first off, I know a lot of Cowboys fans were really excited when the year started because you guys brought in this new offensive coordinator, and you thought you were going to open up the offense. My personal thought process when the season started, I don't know why you were going away with what was working. You got a great offensive line, you got a great running back. Your strength is always going to be running the football, always going to be that with what you have. And I thought you guys got a little too far away from that. Last week you got back to your roots. You ran the football a lot more. Dak only had 27 pass attempts, and you guys scored 37 points or whatever you scored, maybe 34, whatever it was. So I think you guys are getting back to your roots, and I hope you throw the football. I think that is where you guys are vulnerable. But the one thing I noticed about you guys the first week we played you guys, more so than other years, you guys had a lot of pre-snap motion against the Giants. I don't watch you guys every week, but in that game, and it was a mismatched defense, rookie game, a lot of rookies out there. DeAndre Baker was completely lost that game, but you guys were taking advantage of the mismatches. That's the one thing I definitely noticed the first week we played you guys. Your defense this year, and again, I don't watch every week, it seems like it's a little underwhelming. I thought it was going to be much stronger than it's been. You guys still have a good defense, but I thought it was going to be top 3, 4, 5 in the league. It doesn't seem to be playing up to the initial expectations so far this year.
Yeah, as far as the defense, what you're saying, I agree. They're definitely underwhelming as a unit. We'll see what Michael Bennett, what he's going to add to that. I guess I'm going to jump back to that in a minute, but I do want to say about the offensive side of things. We still can run the ball. I have no problem with running the ball. That's not conservative. It's the play calls of conservative when you run the ball conservatively in the sense that it's predictable.
Right. That's
the issue. And if you watch a touchdown that we had against the Eagles last week, Tavon Austin took a pitch out to the outside. If you watch that play in slow motion, you see there's 3 options for Dak Prescott. He could have handed it up to Tony Pollard. He could have kept it himself. He pitched it out to Tavon, and he got a 20-yard touchdown. That was a Kellen Moore play. It was a running play.
Right.
But it's a Kellen Moore play with options galore. And the opposing team, the Eagles, that we could not have enough guys to kind of stop that play. If one guy slipped, which they did, it's over. So Dak read it. It was a run play. It was a creative run play. That's not Jason Garrett. In fact, after that play, Jason Garrett and Kellen Moore kind of high-fived. Jason Garrett kind of high-fived them because he's like, you can see him, he's like giving them props right there on the field. Like, that's a great play call, Kellen Moore. So, yes, running is fine. I have no problem with sticking to that offensive line and running the rock, but you got to add more Tony Pollard, I believe. You got to be a little more creative with the play calling, and that's what Kellen Moore adds. Not necessarily more passing, but more creativity and less predictability. Yeah. So on defense, our issue is honestly speaking, is the interior of our defensive line, stopping the run inside. You guys didn't get down by so much, let's say, in that first game. You guys might have shot if you continued staying with the run, I believe, with Saquon Barkley. But the one thing the Cowboys have done well this year is if you give them a duty, like something to do, like we lost against the Saints, but we stopped Alvin Kamara. Right. We didn't allow Aaron Rodgers to kill us. I mean, he killed us with his usual Aaron Rodgers stuff, but he didn't give over 200 yards that game. Right. And in my opinion, when you guys stop Le'Veon Bell, one of the main guys, or you want to put the pressure on Sam Darnold's first game back after mono, right? And we didn't stop Sam Darnold, but we stopped Le'Veon Bell. So my point is that the Cowboys, I believe, if given a task, stopping Saquon Barkley, I think they can do that. Now, and that's in the ground and in the air. He's dangerous all around. As you know, he's leading receiver on you guys. I mean, last year he had 92 catches last year. So, and last week he tied it, I think, with 8 receptions on the line game with the number one receptions on the team. Last week against the Lions, tied. I think. One thing I'll say about Shermer last week, and once again, thank you to everybody for being here. John Gregory is in the house. Thank you very much. Slurpee, thank you. Crown by Charles Deo, Super Charlotte. And if you guys haven't done so, please check out their channel. I love these guys. They had me on their channel week 1 and just love talking football. But as far as Saquon Barkley goes, and it's not just him, but specifically last week, Shermer, and a lot of times I'll get on Shermer. I think Shermer's a bad play call a lot of times. Last week I was encouraged because they really opened up the playbook. And they did use Barkley more so than just on like screen passes and passes, on the line of scrimmage. They brought him out on wheel routes. They threw it down the field to Barkley, and I expect them to try to do that more this week. And with the addition of Sterling Shepard, which he's our number 1 wide receiver, now we've got all our weapons back. And I'm really excited that we're playing you guys this week because you guys have an above-average defense. I think it's a good test to see where our offense truly stands now that Daniel Jones has everybody back. Our weakness has been the offensive line. Nate Solder, the last couple of weeks. The first week we played you guys, I thought our offensive line did pretty well. Yeah, I think you guys overachieved that first week, definitely. I mean, or at least you surprised us. The offense, the defense sucked. Yeah. The offensive line, your offensive line we're talking about. Yeah. They surprised, Cowboy fans, and I know they surprised us. So you guys definitely played up on that game on your offensive line. I'm not sure you guys have done since then. Yeah, we played Arizona 2 weeks ago. We gave up 8 sacks. And last week, Solder gave up a huge sack late in the game. Nate Solder's been awful. Really? The Giants' offensive line in this game is going to have to play well because to beat you guys, I know how to beat you guys. We just can never do it. The way to beat the Dallas Cowboys, you have to get ahead. You guys are not good from playing from behind, and you have to control the clock. You can't turn the football over. Saquon Barkley has to be able to run the football on you guys, and you have to force Dak in the 3rd and long situations. Easier said than done when you got Ezekiel at that offensive line. I know how to beat you guys. We just don't have the talent to do it as of late. This week, I honestly think the Giants have a very good chance to win this football game. I really do. I definitely say this is your best chance for sure. You got all weapons out. You guys are ready. This is a Monday Night Football game. NFC rivals. NFC East rivals. They're ready for us. I know you guys are ready for us. I think that it's scary to see the Cowboys coming out of a bye week and how they're going to respond to that. That's another big thing to look for in this game. I'm a little nervous about that side of things. On our side, can't control how you guys come out, but the Cowboys got to do their thing, and it's just that they've never been a good. We go to the playoffs, we have a bye in the playoffs, and then we just get handled in that next game. And every time last year we had bye week, came out of the bye week, got handled by Tennessee on Monday Night Football. So. Right. Got to stay on top of things here for the Cowboys, and I agree on that side. I believe that the key to getting to you guys and stopping you guys from our defensive standpoint is we have to get the pass rush. Now, has to get to Daniel Jones. Yes. And I know he's 13 turnovers. That's most in the NFL right now. We get Tank, and I know you guys probably got to double team him or game plan around DeMarcus Lawrence. But Robert Quinn, you guys didn't see him week 1. Nope. And he's our sack leader. Yeah. So he's got 6. This guy is a monster out there, and you look, game plan for Tank. You're gonna be 1-on-1 on Quinn out there on the outs on your left side of your line. Who is your blind side? Nate Solder. There you go. So on the right side you got Remmers, who got a little banged up. I know he let to play last week, and you're gonna have to go against Tank. with him there. And you got Will Hernandez in the middle. I know that. You got I know did you pick up the guy Zeitler? Yeah, inside. So again, and that leads me to the next piece you haven't seen. We haven't seen him either. We're going to see him tonight on our live stream, Bo, and that's Michael Bennett. That's going to be, I think he's going to be a key piece. We did a great deal. We traded away a 6th round pick, is what it's going to come out to, for Michael Bennett for 9 games plus, with the playoffs beyond, hopefully. And then we restructured his contract yesterday, and now he is unrestricted. He's a free agent next year. But we also lowered his salary cap, and if someone picks him up, we're basically going to get a compensatory pick for him if they sign him, depending on how much they sign him for, and which team gets him, how he performs. But that's for 2021. I'm talking about the next season. So in a way, we're almost getting a rental, temporarily giving up a 6th round pick in 2020 to get a compensatory pick in 2021. And Michael Bennett, interior, he is a tough guy. He's not only a run stopper, he's a run disruptor. That's where we need him in this game, because that's our problem. And we need somebody to replace Tyrone Crawford. He is injured this game, and he's on IR, so he's missing the rest of the season. Tristan Hill, our rookie, 2nd round pick, he's not cutting it. And a couple other guys, Tyrone Crawford was the guy who was kind of the versatile inside-outside kind of defensive end, defensive tackle. That is now filled by Michael Bennett, and I believe he is better than Tyrone Crawford. I mean, I know he is. It's just a matter of he's going to be playing that kind of passing down interior defensive lineman, 3 tech probably. On your maybe on Zeitler, maybe on the other side, maybe on Hernandez. That would be an interesting matchup to watch. And of course, he'll be doing some rotation on the outside, spelling Quinn and Tank at times as well. So I'm excited to see how we're gonna. And that's, to me, is the key to stopping the jump. Once we get that going, your slot receiver is Golden Tate. To me, he scares me because we haven't faced him this year, but when we faced him 3 times last year, Lions and the Eagles twice.
Right.
I mean, he didn't really hurt us in the Eagle games, but he hurt us in the Lion game. He's hurt us in the past.
Oh, he's a good receiver.
Yeah, and I think Jordan Lewis, number 27, is going to get a chance to go out there and hopefully start over Anthony Brown this week in the slot. That's a key matchup right there, and I believe that Cowboy Nation wants to see 27 out there, Jordan Lewis. We didn't want to see Anthony Brown out there. We see he's a better player than Anthony Brown, and we'll see how that matchup works out if that ends up being what it is, because they'll be playing in the slot together a lot there against each other.
That'll be a key matchup for sure. And just as you guys added a guy that could play on both the inside and the outside on your defense, the Giants did the same thing. They went out there, they make a trade, and a lot of Giants fans were up in the air about it. They said
gave up a lot.
They said 3rd and 5th round pick for Leonard Williams. Leonard Williams, of course, 6th overall pick, 2015 draft, former Pro Bowler. In 2016, disappointing this year when you just look at the sack numbers, but he has double the quarterback pressures than anybody else on this roster this year on what's supposed to be a disappointing year. He's got 14 quarterback pressures. And I think the Giants' defensive line is a strength at this point, and it's young, and it's only going to get better. They're not completely proven yet, but Dalvin Tomlinson this year, to me, is the unsung hero. I keep saying it. What's going on, Kid Blue? Thanks for tuning in. If you guys haven't done so, go check out Kid Blue's channel, by the way. Dalvin Tomlinson, to me, has been the most surprising player in the Giants' defense this year for me. Every week I say it. He impresses me every week. He gets a ton of pressure up the middle. I think he's going to play a big part in this game. Leonard Williams and Dexter Lawrence, who's been great. He's been the Giants' best rookie. That's the key to this game for me. If those 3 can do their job, and like they did against Detroit, they stuffed the run against Detroit. If they can do that against you guys, I think we got a good chance. Obviously, it's going to be much easier said than done. But now we had Leonard Williams. But you guys, I respect your offensive line. I respect your ground game. But if we get you guys in the 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, I like the Giants' chances. I think we could win the football game. But easier said than done. But Leonard Williams will play a vital piece in this game.
I agree. I think before the Cowboys went for Michael Bennett, you know who the Cowboys contacted? The Jets for Leonard Williams. Yeah, exactly. So we just didn't want to give up that much for him. Right. And we knew that he's in his 5th year of his deal, so you got to sign him at the end of this year. You guys have more money than we do, so, or at least plan money. You know what I'm saying? We have Dak and Amari Cooper. We still have to sign them. So, there's other priorities right now. We don't have another person that we have to then figure out how to pay. Jamal Adams, for our side of things, when we were trying to talk to the Jets about him, he had 2.5 years left on his contract. So he's somebody we can still kind of get for cheap. So that was the advantage of getting someone like Jamal Adams over,
They wanted way too much for him. I read they wanted 2 first-round picks for Jamal Adams.
And maybe a 4th rounder on top of that. That's insane. Not for a safety in this day and age. No way.
You guys made a wise decision there.
Yeah, he's a playmaker, though. I will say that. But no, Leonard Williams to me is a key. He knows how. He's just played us 3 weeks ago.
Right.
He did pretty well. And again, I agree with you 100% because I was looking at his numbers, but when we were playing him, and I like this guy's sneaky good. Don't let his numbers fool you. He's a guy who can be disruptive, and he was disruptive against us, against our starting interior. We had our starters inside, so if he goes over Connor Williams, which I believe he will probably have some cracks against him. I know Dalvin. What's his name in the middle?
Dalvin Tomlinson.
Dalvin Tomlinson. He's the one tech, basically. You have a 3-4 defense. So when you guys bring the pass rush, I know it's Marcus Golden on one side and Lorenzo Carter on the other side.
Yeah.
You guys worked Golden last week 1 against La'el Collins. I believe you got to try to switch it around and this time and give a shot to Lorenzo Carter coming in against La'el Collins. But La'el Collins is playing a damn good. He's probably had his best year so far. And I'm interested to see how that's going to work out when it comes to you guys adding pressure and try to be disruptive in our pass game. But yeah, I mean, interior wise, Leonard Williams, I mean, that's a great pickup. I wonder how the Cowboys will be a little bit better off since we have Tyron Smith and La'el Collins back on the line when in running downs, probably having to handle him a little bit more often. So now that we got our starters in there, we'll see how he does this time than he did against the Jets when we didn't have our starters in there at the tackles at the outside. So
interesting. Yeah, no, it's interesting. I just got a super chat, and you might not like hearing this. Barboski with the $2 super chat. He says, "Found my VCR. Have any Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl highlights?" There you go, Barboski.
Hey, that's a good one. But I know one thing for a fact. This is a fact. 5 is better than 4. Remember that. Just remember that.
I'll give you that. 5 is better than 4, but we're coming. We're not this year, but
I know. I get you.
We're coming. But that was a good one. I like that. But now, all right, let's talk about that. Your team obviously. What's going on, Pumpkin? Thank you for tuning in the stream. Dark Demonica Now, thank you for being here. Thank you for being here, Goat Quan. Your team obviously coming into the season had Super Bowl aspirations.
Look.
Yeah, 1-6. Do you still feel that way? Being that you know that more than likely at this point, you're going to probably have to go on the road to possibly Lambeau Field, possibly have to go into New Orleans, and possibly have to go into San Francisco. You're probably going to have to go to 2 of those places to get to the Super Bowl.
Agreed. And, I mean, I really can't answer that right now. I do feel we have the ability to get to the Super Bowl and win it. But I agree with you. I think that if we're going to probably be one of the if we win the division, it looks like the Cowboys would be 3rd or 4th seed. So we're going to play a first game at home in the wild card, and then we have to go on the road. Maybe San Francisco. I would not mind San Francisco, a young team, good defense, but I wouldn't mind a crack at them. And Lambeau Field's gonna be tough in January. Let's be real about it. So it's definitely at a harder spot now for the Cowboys, and that those aspirations are a little bit kind of rolled back. But I do believe that the Cowboys can still be that. We have, again, it's on paper. And that's paper champions don't mean anything.
Right.
But
yeah, tell that to the Cleveland Browns.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's every year. Sometimes, like this year. I mean, I remember way back in the 80s when they were, solid, a very solid team then. But yeah, exactly. Baker Mayfield this year and all that. I mean, it's just you can't win it on paper. So the Cowboys have veterans have shown it. They have guys that have proven it. But it hasn't come together all at once. I do believe it is the coaching. I believe it comes to the top of head coaching, and that's the key question to me. Can the Cowboys make a Super Bowl run? Yes, if the players can for the most part either overcome some of the bad head coaching decisions or restrictive decisions, whether it's Rod Marinelli on our defensive side, holding back Chris Richard a little bit, who's kind of more of an aggressive play caller on defense. Sometimes they play a little too conservative on defense. I believe the Cowboys do, and their defensive minds don't mesh at all times. So that's some why I think the defense has kind of regressed a little bit in total. And on offense, again, like I said, Kellen Moore has to be allowed to be creative. I don't care if we run 40 times, but we got to be creative when we run a lot of those plays. And that was our issue last year, was the creativity in the run and the pass. So we see the difference between Garrett's style. You can watch those 3 losses. You'll see Tony Romo said he played in Garrett's offense. He said he saw the footprints. He saw Garrett's footprints all over the offense. So, and that was against the Jets game, by the way. So that you can just see a lot of conservative play calling. I think that is the key. Conservative, you can still run, but you got to be creative.
Okay.
And if we're creative, I think we have a Super Bowl run possibility for us, for sure. With Dak Prescott, I feel great.
We'll have to wait and see. I do not. I like you guys a lot coming into the year. I'm no longer on the Cowboy train, but I'm no longer on the Eagles train either. I think the NFC East as a whole is – you guys might make the division round. I don't see any team from there, but I could be wrong. Who knows? I mean, people would have said the same thing about the Giants in 2007.
Definitely some air out of our sails are gone out of this.
Yeah.
I do agree with the way this first half of the season has gone. But I still trust in Dak. I think Dak, when he's allowed and he's given the right play calls, I'm telling you, Dak is the real deal, and he has the intangibles you cannot teach. So I truly believe that.
We'll see. If you look at the Cowboys' remaining schedule, and I don't have it in front of me, I know that the Cowboys' schedule looked brutal. I remember looking at it. After this game, tell me. I know you play all playoff teams pretty much.
Yeah, after the Giants, we got Vikings, and at home we go to Detroit, and we go to New England right after that, and then we get a short trip back to Dallas for Thanksgiving against the Buffalo Bills. Then a week later on Thursday night we get the Bears, and then 10-day break we get the Rams in Dallas, and then we go at Philly. And home against the Redskins. So basically,
it's tough.
NFC East bookending us right here, and then the rest in the middle are really extremely tough games. Very tough.
You guys really you won, but you had a lot of gimmies at the beginning of your schedule with the Jets, and you lost that one. But the Jets, the Redskins, the Giants, with the young defense, the Dolphins. So you've already played the easier part of your schedule.
Correct. That's correct.
And at best, after 8 games, you're going to be 5-3. So if I was a Cowboys fan, that's something I'm worried about. But maybe you get better over the course of the season. But we'll see how it plays out. You guys certainly beat the hell out of the Eagles. That was a very good performance, and I'm sure you're encouraged after that.
Yeah, it was a lot of that was due exactly what you said earlier. Not playing from behind.
Right.
We got that turnover, got score. Got a turnover, got a score. So we were in that game. We were immediately on top of the Eagles, and we controlled the game. And exactly what you said. But I don't know if that's going to happen every game for the Cowboys. I do believe that when you look at the Cowboys' schedule, they're tough games. And the Cowboys have been down this road before. I think this team has been down this road before. So I'm not as worried about the toughness of the schedule, because in the end, I think that the Cowboys just have to win the games they have to win. They know they have to win certain some of these games.
You got to win this week. You got to win this week.
The Giant game without question.
Yeah.
But I believe like the Minnesota line, the Minnesota game, and the Detroit game, we got to try to those are the games we have to take advantage of now. You can't have a falter here. You can't falter here. You can't take a misstep. You got to make sure you win these games, because you get New England. That's going to be obvious.
Don't sleep on Minnesota either. Minnesota's a good football team.
The Minnesota's tough. Indeed, it's tough. I mean, all these teams are very tough. I'm saying even Buffalo. It's Thanksgiving. You can't lose that game. That's a can't lose for me. But you can. The Cowboys. None of these games are, like you said, gimmies. And I would say the closest ones would be the last game against the Redskins. And it's not a gimme. But even your game is the next least toughest one, if I was going to rank these in any kind of order. So
I think that's fair. Giants are 2-6 for a reason.
But it's still it's far from overlooking. I'm just saying, my point is that you guys, have the talent to be able to upset us on national TV right now. So, and it wouldn't be it would be
I'm worried about our slow start.
it wouldn't be a huge surprise. I mean, fiance says she's worried about our slow starts.
Yeah.
Again, this Philly game showed the opposite of that. That was because the defense was able to provide some pressure and strip the ball from Carson Wentz. But yeah, you guys are healthy, ready to roll, and you guys are not gonna. It's like a little mini Super Bowl for you guys in a way.
Exactly. That's the way I'm looking at it as a Giants fan. I don't, at this point, we're more than likely gonna finish with no more than 6-7 wins if we get extremely lucky. This is about rebuilding and building confidence for next year with a young team, and having an opportunity to knock you guys off, and this is what I pray happens. Okay. And obviously, I want to make the playoffs. But Giants fans, this is my dream scenario if we miss the playoffs. I keep saying this. Redskins are out. I want you guys to make the playoffs. I'm going to tell you why. Because I would love, last week of the season, Eagles win and they're in. And we knock them the hell out. But I want to knock you guys down first. I want to beat you guys, and then I want to knock the Eagles out at the end of the season. If we don't make the playoffs, that's my dream.
I understand those dreams, because I've been there before, and I've said the same exact thing. I love nothing more than knock this NFC East rival out of the playoffs in the last week of the season. But I do think you guys, although obviously I think it's not going to make the playoffs. It's just almost impossible. But I will say that I agree with you. It's building confidence for you guys. Daniel Jones is a promising young quarterback that's going to be a star in this league, I believe. So. I was going to be curious about what you think about his turnover situation and why is he having problems.
Great question.
As far as that.
Great question. By the way, guys, if you guys are interested, this channel does Madden simulation every week about the upcoming opponent. So they're going to do a Madden simulation tonight. Link in the description below at about 11:40. You said.
Yeah, 11:30, 11:40. Yeah, 20, 30 minutes.
All right, 20, 30 minutes. Well, this is going to be about 45-minute, hour, something, whatever it is. And what's going on, Les Chat? I think you're popping in. And then they're going to have a Madden simulation between these two teams on the channel. So go over there and check that out. But as far as Daniel Jones goes, His fumbling problems were a problem in college. They've been a problem since he came into the NFL. The team has 10 fumbles. They've lost 10 fumbles. That leads the league. It's the worst number in the league. They're 32nd in that area. So that's something that I actually made a second half video on that. My second half expectations. My number one key for the offense over these last 8 games, ball security, because that has been such a blatant problem for this offense and Daniel Jones specifically. Last game, I will say this: he did fumble once. He got hit as he threw the football. It was kind of like a fluke thing because he's throwing the ball out in the flat to Barkley. He's literally throwing the ball. It's not like he fumbled. The ball's out of his hands, but he got hit, so he's going backwards, and it was a backwards lateral. Barkley should have went after the ball. He kind of didn't know what was going on. It was a fumble. So I didn't really get on him for that. And in the game, I actually thought Daniel Jones, there was visual evidence he really was doing a better job at protecting the football. There was 3 or 4 times in the game where they had pressure right up the middle. You saw Jones turn his body, put both hands on the ball. So I do think they're coaching that. I still think it's a problem. And if I'm the Cowboys, I am coaching my guys to try to strip that ball out of his hand. But I do see the Giants trying to correct it. But
yeah, I see what you're saying. So as the season goes on, obviously he's gonna get better at ball security.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean that makes sense. He'll develop as that. I agree with you. The Cowboys' problem is causing turnovers. That's one of our bigger issues. Not this last game against Philly, but overall, you look at all 7 games. That's been an issue for the Cowboys, especially interceptions. So Jones has 3 picks?
I think he's got more than that. He's got at least he threw 3 in one game. He's got. Yeah, he's got 10 touchdowns, and I think somebody in the chat tell me, I don't know the stats off my hand. I'm going to say 10 and 7, 10 touchdowns, 7 picks, something like that. But he had 2 touchdowns in his first game, 2 on the ground, 2 in the air. He had 4 last week. Threw 1 against the Patriots. I think he's got 10 touchdowns and 7 picks. He's been up and down, which is what you expect from a rookie. But what I will say about Jones, he's been 10 and 7. So there you go. Okay, so he's been better than I expected at this point in his career. And the thing that I really like about Jones, and we'll see if it translates, but he's got confidence, and you could see it. And that's really encouraging from a rookie. He's not scared to make tight window throws. He's confident in his ability. And a lot of times you'll see rookies kind of shy away from making throws. He does not. He will go after it. He'll try to make plays both with his arms and his legs. And I saw your guy, Robert Quinn, kind of insinuated that he doesn't really worry about Daniel Jones. He's a pocket passer. I wouldn't really call him a pocket passer. I expect the Giants to try to do some play action rollouts, let Jones use his legs. He can run. The guy ran a 4.6 40. And I hope the Giants use some more RPOs in this game. I think that they could do damage with that between him and Barkley. And we'll see. I expect Pat to try to open up the playbook. But yeah, Daniel Jones is a threat. He's also a threat to turn the football over.
Yeah, how is he when it comes to releasing the ball quickly? Is he pretty good at reading that if there's not really a blitz, but if there's pressure, he has to get the ball out quick?
Yeah.
Or does he make mistakes when that's going on?
Great point. In that game where the Giants gave 8 sacks against the Cardinals, I'm not going to put the full fault on the offensive line. There were certainly a few where Jones' pocket presence was bad. He held onto the football way too long. So that is a problem as well. If I'm an opposing defense, I'm blitzing him as often as I can.
After him.
The Patriots blitzed him as much as they could. The Lions blitzed. Everybody's blitzed them the last 3 or 4 weeks. That's what I'm doing if I'm an opposing defense. Now, for the Giants to combat that, they have to use draw plays. They have to use screen passes. They have to find creative ways to involve Barkley in the passing game. But yeah, if I'm the Cowboys, I'm blitzing him all game.
And that's one of the things the Cowboys don't like to do. Rod Marinelli running the defense, he doesn't like to run blitzes. He likes to just go with his 4 line down guys, and they go in there. Once in a while, the Cowboys kind of do a 3-3-5 defense, and then they'll have 3 linebackers, and one of them are going in as being that 4th guy, kind of a moving blitzer. But those are usually on passing downs, and so I mean, you might have what you want here a little bit here. You're not going to see that much blitzing, I think, from the Cowboys unless Marinelli allows. He used to be the coordinator for the Seattle Seahawks, Legion of Boom and all that stuff. Chris Richard, he's a defensive coordinator. He's a defensive backs coach and also passing game coordinator. He's allowed to be a little more aggressive and blitz here and there. He knows how to disguise his blitzes very well. So if he's allowed to do more of that, that'll be an opportunity for the Cowboys to blitz and maybe put some pressure. I'm looking for pressure on Daniel Jones to be a key in this game because after I believe our linebackers, Jalen Smith and Leighton Vander Esch, will be able to have that job of stopping Saquon Barkley. I think they will be up for the task. I just think that the next issue is you got to get to Daniel Jones. You cannot give him time back there to be able to carve us up because we do have some coverage issues at times if the quarterback gets too much time. And we have to get back there, whether it's Quinn, Tank, and I believe Michael Bennett in the middle, especially on passing downs. That's why I'm asking you, does he get that ball out quickly, or does he have that pocket awareness? Because if we get back there, get him a little nervous, I want to see him shaken, a little bit shaken, and then we'll see what happens.
And I, in a way, I kind of want you to get back there. I want him to improve on that because his pocket awareness he's got to learn. And he's a rookie quarterback, and I see somebody said, don't let this guy crap on us. Listen, he's going to talk about his team. We're going to talk about our strengths and our weaknesses. Yeah, that is a weakness if we're being fair. We got a rookie quarterback, and he does get a little frazzled when the team blitzes, as he should. All rookie quarterbacks do.
Yeah.
And he's got to learn, and he will get better as he goes along. I have full confidence in Daniel Jones at this point. But, yeah, if I'm the Cowboys, that's exactly what I do. And for the Giants to win, it's the same game plan every week. And it's simple. And, it's not easy to accomplish, but it's simple to know what the Giants have to do. And last week, what I was encouraged by Shermer, the Giants definitely brought Jones under center a lot more. Offset I formation. They have to do that. They have to force feed Barkley or whoever is in the game and make it more unpredictable. That is when you can use that play action rollout, which is what Shermer's offense is all about. And they hit Slayton, who's another guy you guys should look out for.
Yes, I agree. He was one of the guys I actually was looking at matchup-wise. A guy now with Sterling Shepard, he's going to be matched up against Awuzie. That's going to be dangerous for us. I mean, on our side, he's number 24 on our side. He's not going to be able to stay with Slayton, I think. Because Slayton's coming on. He had 2 touchdowns last week for you guys.
Darius Slayton has been – last week, they opened it up with the run, play action, and they were able to hit deep balls with Darius Slayton over the top of the defense. And he's got 16 catches this year. He's averaging like 17 yards a catch. He's a big play threat. 3 touchdowns for over 20 yards, all of them. He's a guy that can take the top off your defense. He's our biggest play threat other than Saquon Barkley. And that's a guy, if I'm a Cowboy fan, I'm looking out for. Because now with the full arsenal, you've got that short route guy with Tate. You've got the seam guy with Ingram. You've got the route runner with Shepard. And then you've got the deep threat. So they've got all the pieces in place. And I think this Giants offense could be good if they can have a balanced attack between run and pass and
the offensive line. And the offensive line has to hold up. Yeah, they have to hold up. If not, then nothing else really will work. So
exactly.
I agree 100% with you. Yeah, that's where it all starts. It's always the trenches on both sides, right? That's what the story of football is pretty much. Once if you get in there on the other opposing team's offense, and no matter how good you might be, it's going to be rare that they're going to be able to overcome constant pressure. So, yeah, I mean, if we can be disruptive, the Cowboys on your, because I believe Daniel Jones can kill us if we give him time. And there's certain situations where at home on Monday Night Football, he's going to be feeling good for this game, I believe, and feeling confident, especially if it's a slow start for the Cowboys once again. It's just I don't want him to gain confidence. I don't want him to get out there and then say, I can hit anybody I want. And in some of these matchups, if he takes too long, if the Cowboys take too long to get back there, that is a serious issue. And I'm hoping that Michael Bennett this week will show some changes on that. And again, a lot of times quarterbacks would step up in the pocket because of Quinn and Tank coming, and there's nobody there.
Right.
So they either take off or have an extra second and then hit someone. Daniel Jones will hurt us that way. Like you said, he'll run.
Yeah, he can run.
That's an issue for the Cowboys. I believe, though, now with Michael Bennett, he's going to be used on a lot of these passing downs on the inside. I think, we've seen him with the Eagles last year, and I know you remember from the Seahawks. So Bennett is a disruptive guy, whether in the run or in the pass, and it could be inside or outside. So I believe he'll be a factor in this game, just like Leonard Williams will be on your side. You can throw both these guys in on these defenses, and they will excel right away.
Yeah, I think they're both good pickups for both teams. I personally like Williams more, but the Giants gave up more. Because Williams also fits the age range of this team. He's young. As this team's grown up, he fits right in. But, yeah, I think it was a good acquisition. You guys didn't give up anything to get him. So it was a good pickup for you guys, and I think it's going to be a great game. I think it's going to be a close game. Cowboys fans, if they're in here, they may laugh. I picked the Giants. I really do. I never picked the Giants. I picked the Giants. This is the 3rd time I picked the Giants all year. I like the way there's something about this game that I really do feel like the Giants are going to impress this week, and they're going to give you all you can handle. I think it's going to be a really good game, and it's going to come down to Barkley. Barkley has to set the tone. If Barkley could do what he did against you guys the first week, we're going to win the game. I'll say that right now.
If you guys can keep running it, like if you guys don't go away from it, again, meaning that you don't get down by a lot of points. If you guys do that, you guys will be in this game, and I believe that's where it's going to kind of go to. It's going to stay close most of this game. I do believe it's going to be one of these kind of battles. I don't expect the Cowboys to blow out the Giants. I do not. I see you guys being at your strongest right now, and probably knowing that this is your last ditch effort here to try to do something with the season, and why not? Well, who better to do it against than the Dallas Cowboys on Monday Night Football? So you guys have nothing to lose. You guys have all the confidence in our building. We coming out the bye week, and we kind of have to me, we cannot, with the schedule like you just mentioned, we cannot lose to you guys. So the pressure is on the Cowboys here on national television, and if we can hold up time for Dak, I think that and block for Zeke, I think that we'll be able to have our way. That's again the trenches. You saw about your offensive line. The same goes for us. So I think that for Zeke and for Dak, you give Dak time and Kellen Moore's plays. When he throws that ball, I mean, he's going to probably hurt you guys. And if you're able to run Zeke and he can consistently run on you guys, then that's going to be us controlling the game, like the way you guys would do that with Barkley. So
that's the key to the game. The newly acquired Leonard Williams and that defensive line is going to have to limit Zeke. If they can do that, we can win this football game. That's what it comes down to.
Any prediction on that?
I don't think we're gonna hold Zeke to nothing, but I do think our defensive front will do the job and they will keep him in check. And I don't think you kill us on the ground. I'll say you average about 4 yards a carry. I think the Giants do the job and they make Dak beat them in the air. And I think Giants are gonna come out. They're gonna surprise people this week. I could be wrong.
Score?
I picked 24-21 Giants. Now I will say I picked the Jets to beat you guys too. So. If
you guys beat us, I do believe that would be a good score that would sound about on target for me. As far as if I was to pick the Giants, I'm not. I do think that the Cowboys will start slow. I think you guys will hang in the whole game. Actually, probably for about 3 quarters or so. I do think that we might pull away a little bit. I think we probably win by about 10. I'm thinking like a 20. Let's say 28-17, 11-point game for the Cowboys. I think it'll be kind of 20-17 to the fourth, and maybe 21-17 going to the fourth, and maybe we'll score a touchdown there. I just don't see it being a high-flowing game yet. For the reasons we mentioned already, a lot of question marks on the Cowboys side as far as how we're going to come out the bye. And even though we're healthy, are we going to kind of regress again because coming out of this bye week, are we going to be able to pick up how is this offensive coaching staff going to call these plays? How are they going to call this game? I believe that's a huge factor in this. And we talked about the trenches. I mean, you can't really discuss it much more than we already have because if what happens with Saquon happens with the Giants and you guys actually start can consistently run the entire game. I mean, I don't know how we'll be able to stop you guys because then it opens up those other weapons. And we don't even talk about Evan Ingram. We talked about him a lot week 1. I mean, he's there. Cowboys have problems covering tight ends. So if you guys got Tate and you got Sterling Shepard and you got Slayton, rookie, and you got Barkley at the backfield, I'm talking to Evan Ingram. Sorry, but Evan Ingram is going to kill us. So that's why I see the key has to be getting pressure on.
I agree with you. You got to blitz the hell out of the Giants, and we'll see if Pat Shurmur has a game plan to combat that. And he has not done a good job in recent weeks at doing that. Teams have done that every single week. Last week was the first week where I really thought he came out with a really good game plan, and we'll see if the Giants can adjust. But I mean, at the end of the day, the game is won and lost in the trenches. It's always won and lost in the trenches, and that's what I admire about your team the most. I think that the Cowboys, although I disagree with you about Dak, I am not a big Dak guy, but I think the Cowboys have built the team the right way. I think that they went out, they spent early picks on the offensive line, they drafted well, and they've made it so a quarterback who I feel is at best average can perform to a level where you can win football games because they've surrounded him with all the talent that he needs to be successful. I think the Cowboys have done a really good job building up that offensive line, giving them a really good defense and running game. I would not re-sign Dak. I know you want to. I would not re-sign Dak. I think it's a mistake for the Cowboys, but that's a discussion for another day.
Yeah, his numbers supposedly dropped to 33 to 35 million right now per year. So we shall see. But like I said, we'll discuss that another day. But I see what you're saying with Dak. He has still some room to grow. But you also got to remember he's had a broken offensive line last year with a broken offensive coordinator. Giving him giving the opposing defenses predictable passing plays and routes. It was the whole season last year, and he had to overcome that. We still almost beat the Rams in the divisional final.
He played good, and he can play good in the playoffs. But what is he making now? What is he making now? $1 million?
He's still on his rookie contract, fourth round pick.
So about $1 million, right?
Yeah,
so when he makes an extra $34 million a year, who do you lose somebody?
That's
especially when you got to pay Cooper too. You're losing somebody.
But it depends how you slice up the money. It's like a puzzle piece. So you can, maybe pay him one year and then pay him less the next year. There's different ways of stacking the money. We have 21 million open this year. It's going to roll over the next year. Add another 10 under that. We have 85 already open so far for next year.
Right.
We're going to have over 100 million open next year. And yes, we have Cooper. He's going to knock off 20. We're going to knock off another 35 with Dak. I mean, I'm just saying, so you still have, you still have 60 million open to still spend, and we have like about 30 players already signed through next year. So, already on that part of that roster. So, I know you're saying, but that's a little myth on the Cowboys side. The way we've kind of constructed these contracts have been phenomenal, I believe, for the Cowboys for the most part. These newer contracts, much different than the old days when we got Romo for those numbers and Dez, all that dead money. Those days are long gone for the Cowboys. So I'm feeling good.
We'll see. The way I look at it, when you factor in Dak, Zeke, and Cooper, no matter how you want to slice it, at some point you can restructure all you want. $70 million over $200 million or $210 million. 35 to 40% of your cap is going to be invested in 3 players.
Yeah, no.
We'll see how you're able to build your team.
Back in the '90s, Troy Aikman, even if Dak got $35 million, he would take up like 10% of the cap. I think Troy Aikman had like 12% of the cap back in the '90s when there was a cap, in place the first years of the cap. So Troy Aikman took up more percentage on the cap than Dak would nowadays. So my point is that we actually give up. He actually control. There's ways around it, is my point, and it's the way you construct these contracts. That's really the skill of it. I think the Cowboys have really dove deep into doing these kind of with learning from bad mistakes that have hurt us for years after these guys have left. Whether it's Des Bryant or Tony Romo, these contracts were poorly done in the past. And now I think that the Cowboys have finally figured it out. So I was going to say something about Daniel Jones, though. You were talking about our under center, play action, RPO, that kind of stuff. When you have a running back like Saquon Barkley and you have a rookie quarterback, that's exactly what you want to do. That's what the Cowboys did year one. And even if we had a rookie running back, he was the 4th overall pick. Ezekiel Elliott, so you see him out there. Everyone's already watching Zeke and our offensive line, and Dak had the ability to kind of did a lot of play action, a lot of conservative stuff, but also misdirection stuff when you have a running back like that. And that's why I think the Giants should overall kind of stick to kind of get the misdirection, the RPOs, the play action, to utilize Daniel Jones and give him a better chance to be successful. Not just he's already done great, but I'm just saying to continue developing and
I completely
evolving.
agree with you. I completely agree with you. The one major difference. You guys, when you had Dak and Zeke, you guys already had an established all-pro offensive line. The Giants do not have that yet. So that's the major difference why you guys were able to do it so much more successfully, consistently than we have. Because our offensive line right now, it's, I guess, a little better. It's still not very good.
I mean, at the beginning of the year, I thought you guys had a much better, improved offensive line as far as guys you brought in.
Yeah,
Solder
Zeitler was a good
developed.
acquisition. Hernandez, they played pretty good, but Hernandez, the tackles are pretty good. The guards, rather, are pretty good with Hernandez and Zeitler. Halapio has been really bad up the middle, and our tackles on the outside, And Chizola, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. He says, Danny Dimes is a better pocket passer than Dak. What's your thoughts on that?
On that one, I actually agree. I wish the Cowboys would actually have Dak roll out a little more. They don't do any rollouts. I mean, when you see him kind of extending the play, Dak does fantastic things out there. But in the pocket, sometimes he's a little too stiff, not as aware as you'd like him to be. Last year, he was really, really bad. But the coaching staff kind of made him stay in the pocket. We've heard them say, you got to go through all your reads. So, they wanted to kind of force him in the pocket. I agree with the chatter in the box there that yes, I believe that Daniel Jones is a better pocket passer than Dak Prescott. But when you throw in the intangibles, and again, it's hard to compare a rookie to a 4th-year guy, but when you throw in the intangibles, I mean, Dak's got him. That's without question. You don't get that from all the quarterbacks. You can have great talent, but you don't have. And I'm not saying this is Daniel Jones. I'm not saying that at all, because I believe he has the intangibles as well. You got to still let him develop though, and see when he gets the talent with the intangibles, and then see where he's at in a year or 2 or 3 from now. And Dak is, I believe he's maybe a little behind than maybe most quarterbacks. He's also had a harder time with the offensive coordinator, quarterback coach Kellen Moore. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So we had a offensive line that was hurt. The year before that, we had Zeke who was out, for, that whole thing hanging over the team's head, and that was the second year. So other than that first year when he was a rookie, he really hasn't had a consistent offensive line with a consistent running game with a consistent offensive coordinator that's there to help him, not to force them to play the way the offensive coordinator wants his offense run. This Kellen Moore is more kind of suited for playing with what the players kind of want. Dak Prescott, his strengths, rather than forcing him to play his system. So I like where the Cowboys are going. They just have to kind of let it go a little farther when it comes to Kellen Moore and getting more creating more stuff there with Dak Prescott. So
Travis, and I'm with you. Travis, I think he means Zeke. He said 0. Saquon over Zeke. all day. Travis, you're not gonna hear me argue that. Everybody knows how I feel about Saquon. Zeke's phenomenal. Here's what I'll say. I'm gonna be completely honest and unbiased in my opinion. I think Zeke is a better blocker. I think Zeke's a better short yardage runner. I think he's a harder runner. I think Saquon could do things that Zeke couldn't dream about doing. And that's just not a knock on Zeke. That's every running back in football. I think Saquon is just that gifted of an athlete at the position. But Zeke certainly does some things that are better than Saquon at this point. Saquon's good.
I would say as a dynamic running back out there, yeah, I mean, I think Saquon's top of the list. But when you look at it all around running back, I think it's maybe a better way because even though Zeke's not as good a receiver as Saquon, Zeke led the Cowboys. He broke the record for the Cowboys running back catches in a season.
They used him a lot in the passing game last year.
So he can block. One of the best blockers at running back is Zeke. He's a damn good receiver out of the backfield. He catches the ball. I mean, you see him catch some over-the-shoulder catches against the Jets, last year against the Lions. He made some great catches. So I'm not saying he's Saquon style, but up to that level. But he's definitely not shabby when it comes to catching the ball.
Oh, he's not a plodding running back. But nope. It's just a matter of taste. They're both great.
I would listen. If I had Saquon, I'd say he's the best in the league. If I have Zeke, I'm gonna say Zeke is the best. And I believe you can kind of interchange them. I think that they're both fantastic running backs. I just think that the Giants cannot overwork him like the Cowboys have done with Zeke, because you might lose a step or a half step and then lose a step and a couple more years. So for Zeke, it seems like he's kind of a little banged up at the end of last year, and you got to keep him healthy. And the Cowboys have kind of gone away from splitting time with him and Pollard or kind of making it a little bit more, 70-30. They go on like 90-10, Zeke. Right. So they got to keep Zeke healthy. I believe the rest of the season is big that we kind of utilize a better combination there in the backfield to keep Zeke healthy. And that's what I'm saying. For your situation, it's similar. I mean, I know you don't have a second guy right now, but I know you brought in Allen from free agent.
Buck Allen and we got Gallman on the roster as well. But and I said that to you at the beginning of the year on our first week show. I said that if I was the Giants, I wanted them to use Barkley a little less. I wanted him to still get carries, but I wanted the Giants to run the hell out of the ball. But I wanted them to utilize Gallman and the backup running backs more than they did in the past. And for the most part, they haven't really done that. Of course, Barkley got hurt, but I agree with you. You don't want to run, especially with the Giants being 2-6. I don't want them to run Barkley into the ground.
Save him a little bit for the future, because that's I see the issue. I mean, we see it with all running backs, but with someone like Zeke, who's dynamic and a special running back like Saquon Barkley, you want to keep these guys. These are the few in the NFL that can do what these guys do. And I a suggestion I give to Giants Nation over there that keeping Saquon is an important thing to do. Good year, bad year, you still want to keep these guys healthy and fresh. And make sure that they have more longevity, and not just in their season, but also their careers. And I think that you can make the team better for the long run as well with that kind of mindset. So we're in the same boat.
I completely agree with you. And one thing I'm going to say before we close this out, because you got your stream, I am sick and tired of. I think Barkley's better than Zeke, but I just want to get to the point where I talk about which team's better. I at the end of the day, I don't care about the running backs. I want the Giants to get to a point where we're good enough to be like, the Giants are better than the Cowboys. I don't care at the end of the day who's got the better running back. I don't care who's got the better wide receiver. I want to have the better football team, and we're not there yet, but the Giants are getting there. And I think next year they're going to be much better, and the year after that they could be very, very good.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun future in the NFC East. I'm gonna definitely say that with these young quarterbacks in here.
Yeah, Rome wasn't built in a day. I just want to say. I just wanted to return the favor because, like I said, my Cowboys family had me on their channel before the year started. Always love working with them, and I'll definitely be working with you guys in the future.
Yeah, we loved your input, man. I just wanted to touch base again. I'm glad you took some time out as well and gave us a little chat here about this upcoming game, which I believe is for you guys it's very important to continue try to stay in this race in the NFC East. It's a big game here on national television. For us, obviously, it's important as well to try to stay in front of the NFC East. And hey, it's gonna be a hell of a battle, man. I appreciate you letting us on here. And yes, we will definitely be doing more stuff and talking more Giants Cowboy talk here in the future. So
of course you will. And thank you to everybody for being here. Christian Perez, Raymond Martinez, Vladimir Putin. I love that guy. Not the actual person, the subscriber. That one guy, Nash Schraber, Tim. Thank you for being here. I really do appreciate it. Charles Deo, love the collaboration. You guys got to do this more. We will. Loopy, what's going on? Yeah, Charles Deo's in my chats all the time now. Maybe he found me from our collaboration. He's in my streams all the time. But guys, thank you guys so much for being here. And hopefully some of you guys go on over to My Cowboys Family now, because they're going to be doing a stream talking about the game.
Yeah,
So
we're actually it's gonna be just we let the computer we do the we put Sterling, we got to put Sterling Shepard back in there because he was shown out on Madden or whatever. So we're gonna use Madden 20 on PS4. We do this every single week before the on Fridays, and we just run a simulation. We don't control the players and like that. We just let the computer, the CPU, run it out, 15-minute quarters, and just see how it plays out. And you can hear our reactions. We talk some Cowboy news and about some news about the game and some information. We discuss some stuff with the chat. We're almost watching like it's a real game. We familiarize ourselves with the players, the numbers, and you see them on the field. You see them out there. And then you can kind of, if you're a Giant fan, you want to see where you get, some of these names and numbers, match them up. When you see them on game day, you kind of a little more informed. And that's what we try to do on our channel. Inform, of course, our fans, ourselves, and also, opposing teams that want to come and kind of peek in and see what the Cowboys are about.
Let me ask you a quick question before we close this out. You do this every week, these Madden streams, right?
Yes, every game. Well, yeah, every time there's a Cowboy game on Sunday or Monday, we do it on Fridays.
And how often are they right?
One week they were dead on.
Oh, no, I'm not even talking about score. I'm talking about the winner. How often are they right?
Yeah, no, 1 week they were dead on with the winner. Well, the winners they're right. I mean, a lot of the times. I think the Cowboys did lose to the Giants in the week one simulation we did. I think we lost to you guys, if I recall.
Oh, did you? So I hope you beat us in this simulation now.
every one we've lost, I know we've won most of those games. So yeah, I hear when we killed them in the simulation, it's a close game when we lose. So yeah, you probably want to get something that's the Cowboys destroy the Giants in the simulation. It's more for me. It's not really about the predicted score. It's more about matchups and see how they run it out on the field there. And you can see, again, I want to get familiar with you guys. And when I'm watching the game, we do our live stream reaction during the game as well, every single game for the last 3 years since the channel's been up. And when we do it, we want to make sure we're knowledgeable and we see, okay, there's number 99, right? Like I was at, Leonard Williams. There he is. Okay, I identify him. I can see him. I see how the Cowboys are blocking him. I'm watching everything in the game. You'll hear us talk about all that stuff in our game day live streams as well. So it's more about seeing how these guys kind of just for fun out there and see them, get familiar with them, and then we have fun with this with what happens in the game. Some crazy stuff happens in there all the time. So
should be a lot of fun. It should be a lot of fun. I'm gonna pop on over there and watch it. And Zach Rosen, man, thanks for popping in. Thank you to everybody for being here. We're gonna close out the stream. You guys are great, and I'm gonna go over there and watch it and watch you guys beat us in the simulation. So we beat you on Monday. Have a great night, guys. Thank you guys for tuning into the stream. Later, bro.